my loves. Welcome or welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I'm Monica, the Kismet Chemist. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Welcome to the family. I'm honored to have you. If you are returning, welcome back. I have missed you. All right, you guys. So for those of you who have been following my channel for a while, you know that I just recently went through a cancer scare. And with that came the removal of my one remaining ovary. And in female terms, when your ovaries are gone, or when they no longer work properly, you go through menopause. And in perimenopause or early menopause, you start having some really fun symptoms. For me, my dreams have been crazy, vivid, and actually quite amusing. I don't wake up in a state of like, oh my God, what does it mean? But I do understand what that is like. And I've had many, many dreams in my past where when I remember them so vividly, I know that there was a message and a purpose behind that. And so that whole situation, I giggle because I had one of the craziest dreams. So I was like walking around in like a post-apocalyptic world. And my daughter, Eliza, came home from school and she was one of the quote unquote zombies, except the zombies were actually possessed people and they were possessed by sad kangaroos. And so I looked at her and I looked in her face and I was like, Izzy, you're in there. You're still in there. I know you are. And I just kept looking in her eyes. And all of a sudden, she opened her mouth and spit out this kangaroo that curled in a ball and it was crying. And then I started petting it, and that was all it wanted. It was a happy kangaroo after that, and it hopped away. So it was very interesting. I don't actually see a dream meaning in that. However, I have had many dreams pre and post op about houses. And I know every time I dream about any kind of house and rooms, there's a message within that dream that I am working through within my own conscious and subconscious mind. A lot of our dreams are messages, whether they are messages from a messenger sent from spirit or from our spirit team, or whether they are parts of ourselves that are asking for us to take a deeper look. Because of that, I used my crazy kind of fever dreams to inspire this reading. So we're going to be looking at what the meaning of your dreams are. And each pile has a different dream decoder card. And with each dream decoder card, we're going to break down what the message was, who the messenger was that sent it, and we are going to break down what the meaning of it was. So we're going to look at 3 different facets, all of them interconnected to help you understand more about what it is that you're dreaming of. So with that, we have these 4 piles. This is the card for pile 1, and I'm just going to show you guys a card. I'm not going to read the back or anything like that. So whichever one pulls to you and resonates, I will have the timestamps in the description box and in the comment section. This is card number 2, pile number 2. Number 3. And number 4. All right, my loves. So with all that, if you didn't get enough time with the cards, feel free to, rewind back. I'll actually timestamp when I start showing the cards. That way you guys have a timestamp for, the reference points. And then check the description box below for the timestamps for each pile. And I will see you guys there. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the first card right here, this is your message about what your dreams have been telling you. So on this side, we have the message of the dream. Over here, we have the meaning of that message. And in the middle, we have the representation of the dream and the dream messenger. So the core of this is all about moving forward. It says, walking in a dream, like any other form of travel, is a symbol of the discoveries you're making as you move forward in life. It's generally a positive dream because you're relying on your own resources to get where you need to be. The surroundings and any obstacles or diversions you encounter will give you a clue about your progress. If you're walking in mud, there may be a messy situation in your personal life. Walking on glass suggests you're feeling hurt. Being barefoot may indicate a need to be more authentic. Moving on air suggests self-confidence and positivity, though there may be risks involved and possibly a certain amount of bluffing. Climbing or hiking in rugged terrain suggests challenges you need to overcome. Walking indicates you're judging the pace of change quite well, as opposed to running, which may suggest an impatience to reach your goals. All right. So I got to tell you guys, I didn't look at the back of any of these cards really. And so I didn't know that this was about moving forward. I really thought it was going to be about adventure. But in a big way, moving forward in any of these realms actually does denote some sort of adventure, in my opinion. Because when we are moving into the next phase of our life or moving forward from something, we're opening ourselves up to a new adventure, a new experience, something that we weren't doing before, but we're ready to do now. So first, we're going to take a look at, okay. I was going to do like one side, then the other, then reveal the messenger. But the messenger energy wants to come through first. So we're going to take a look at the messenger. So we have the Four of Swords, and I absolutely love this. There's a lot of like Christ consciousness energy with this particular Four of Swords, because you've got the mother and the child. So Mother Mary and baby Jesus here looking down on you. But there's also an energy here about an innocence, and a lot of loving and nurturing protectives. There's also a strong energy about a resting divine masculine state. With this being a mother and child, it's almost as though they're looking down, and she's looking down at her husband, and the child is looking down at their father, resting in this state. Okay, so we have Apollo and inquiry. So Apollo is the sun god from Greek mythology. So we're just going to see what Apollo's message is for you. Okay, and I'm working with the Gods and Titans guidebook. I'm also working with goddesses and sirens, but each pile is going to have just one messenger come out. So it's either going to be a god or Titan or a goddess or siren. So with Apollo, it says, look for the truth in the situation, ask, and your questions will be answered. Take the time to uncover and connect with who you really are and what you really want. Use your inner wisdom. Some of the dream symbols that you may be seeing are the sun, the color gold, arrows, dolphins, three-legged stool, laurel tree, lyre. I'm also going to add in trains, because I did see, when I was reading this moving forward, I did see someone getting on a train or waiting in a train station. So those could be some of the visuals or images, symbols that you're seeing in your dreams. So Apollo coming forth and asking you to think about your true essence. Apollo is also the founder of the Oracle of Delphi. He is well known for his divination, and Apollo is actually the god who adopted Chiron and raised Chiron, who was abandoned by his parents. So he though he is the sun god, and he's depicted in this imagery quite, I'd call him rough and tumble. Apollo has a very loving nature, a very warm energy. Apollo, to me, whenever I have worked with Apollo, is never an egotistical energy. And we think of the sun as the ego. Sorry, guys, let me get the camera for you. We think of the sun as the ego in the astrological charts, but it's also a place where our connection to Apollo is represented. So you could have your sun in an air sign in particular, and in the 4th house. So with that being said, let's get what Apollo's message is. So we're going to first roll some astro dice for the message. Okay. So we have Neptune in the 12th house and in Taurus. So with this energy, what I'm getting is a lot of futuristic energy, because Neptune is moving towards the sign of Taurus. And even though Neptune was in the sign of Taurus in the past, this does feel more futuristic. So it may be a part of your future self, like a future incarnation coming to play. So if you're seeing images of you traveling on like a bullet train, or a train similar to a bullet train that doesn't exist, or traveling in a way that doesn't quite exist, like through portals and wormholes and things of that nature within the physical world that you recognize, but like there are some futuristic changes. That is a really strong indicator of the style of message. It's about a kind of future view into comfort and luxury and things that will be surrounding you in your life. Give me just one moment. We're going to continue, but I got to let my dogs in. We have a snowstorm going on, guys. Okay, my loves. I want to say thank you so much for your patience on that one. Even though it was literally like 1 second to the next for you, it did take me a bit. Willow, come here. Hi, baby. All right. So let's see the extension of the message. So we have the Devil, okay, and the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so starting off between Taurus in the 12th house and Neptune, with the Devil and the 4 of Pentacles, this is an energy that talks about the dangers of finding too much comfort in one area or another. We're talking about moving forward with life. And it's hard to move forward when you are clinging to what was, when you're clinging to something, excuse me, guys, that used to be, that isn't, it's not your safety net anymore. It's like you may have built a foundation here, but the foundation has been built and now it's time to move to the second story. And when it's time to move to the second story, then it's time to figure out what that second story is. And sometimes we can get caught up in our own mentality, our own mindset that tells us we're not ready for this, we can't do this, or that, you know, we have to do things in this way or that way. You can't leave this. You can't walk away from this. Now we have 2 4s out here, you guys, between the 4 of Swords and the 4 of Pentacles. This is about you giving yourself the time to rest, to walk away from something, and to really dive deeply into your own dreaming reality, like your own willingness to dream your future into existence. Okay. I had to take another break to let Willow back out because she's just being rambunctious. So let's get a little bit more information about what it is that you're holding on to. So we have the Time Master. We have Crown Games, right use of power. 23 with forgiveness. And 42 with joy. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Actually, no, just 4, 5. Well, 4, 5, 6, and then 8. So if there's this energy of skipping a 7 that I'm picking up here, because we have, well, this one reduces to a 3, but I was more caught by the 8 on this card. And then we have 8 here, 5 here, 6 here, 6 here, and a 4 here. We've got this energy here of skipping that 7. Now the number 7 itself talks about the seeking energy, the attaining knowledge, attaining wisdom. There's a part of you that is trying to rush a process because you see where there are people that aren't quite using their time to the best of their ability. And the real trick here, what you're being asked to see, is when it's time to move forward, there are 2 things that you need to look at. You need to look at forgiveness, and you need to look at how you're using your power. And this actually feels more like an energy of planning for your future. It's meant for you to envision, to see the pathway forward, to see the dream come to fruition, to let go of the things that you cling to, the mindsets that you cling to that tell you there's not enough time, it's not the right time, this, that, and the other thing, that really rob you of feeling joy and make you feel as though you're always up against a wall, you're always up against some sort of obstacle. And instead, letting yourself use the power that you have within to give forgiveness in areas that other people may not be giving. So I'm actually being brought to a situation in my own life that I had to make a conscious decision to simply give forgiveness and keep moving forward in my life. So I've built a very strong foundation with this channel of purpose, of working with my gifts, of light working, of helping others, of sharing and connecting with other people. But I have this situation with this channel, and it's been this way since this channel's inception, and even before it with my old channel that no longer exists, where there is specific focus from certain individuals who do not like me on a personal level and attack my business. And they do this in a way where they understand the nature of the algorithm, and they intentionally try to work to remove my channel from the algorithm. And in the past, I have allowed for a mentality to shake the foundations and make me cling to the channel more firmly. I had to go through a phase where I needed to let go of trying to control the way that this channel grows and just realize that I'm here to use my gifts to help others. And so if there are going to be people who endeavor to stop my light from shining, there are going to be people who do that. But is that my business? I actually don't think it is. And the reason why is because focusing on them focuses on negativity. It takes away the joy of what I do here. And I feel like I have to pour more time and more energy and more effort into saving something that doesn't need to be saved. I'm here to do what I love. And that matters more to me. So the message of your dream is an energy that is showing you, the message here is showing you how you cling to something without moving forward. So you may be waiting at a train station to get on the train and the train never comes. You may get into the train on the wrong car and have to find the right car. I'm actually seeing that one. And this is, I'm seeing it playing out in multiple ways. Like at an airport and you're in the wrong terminal, and you know, you hail down a taxi and it takes you to the wrong location. It's this constant like near missing, just waiting or near missing. And that's the message. It's this waiting for a dream, nearly missing the dream, trying to build the dream. It's not coming into fruition. And it's all a lot of mentality. It's devil energy. So it may be playing out in a way where someone that you know or someone that you believe doesn't like you is actually the driver of the taxi, the pilot of the plane, the engineer of the train, because it feels like they're not using their position of power or their position of the ability to help you get from point A to point B in the right way. And Apollo is coming forth and asking you to take a step back from that and to see that the best way to move forward is to ameliorate this message here. So let's take a look at the deeper meaning of the message. All right, we have Scorpio in the 6th house and the North Node. So this is about transforming the ways in which you love yourself, you care for yourself, you are of service to yourself and to others. Oh wait, this is a 9. Yeah, this is the 9th house. Oh, okay. So this is about transforming your belief in your destiny. I find it interesting. It could probably work both directions, actually, you guys. But this is the 9th house, not the 6th. I do apologize for that. It has this tiny little dot indicator, if you guys can see, whereas the 6 is down on the bottom. So we have this energy here of, whoops, here we go. Yeah, this energy here of Scorpio in the 9th house is about the mysterious, the deep depth and hidden wisdom within you, the destined path that is for you. Because for me, the 9th house is about self-expansion. It's about expansion and beliefs and philosophy and education and higher levels of education and all of that. It's also the house of publishing, guys. But it is the house of the belief that you have in yourself. When we are very self-focused here, that is what it is about. So let's take a look about the transformation. I am not at all surprised to see the Emperor because we have this repeating 4. So 444 could be repeating for you regularly. And then the 8 of Swords. Okay, so remember when I said there was this energy of a sleeping masculine? These two in combination is telling me that your divine masculine feels trapped. Your divine masculine feels trapped by your own mentality, your own mindset. And the divine masculine is the energy of action. So you may feel trapped in your actions. Going back to the example that I gave with my own life, I did go through that phase where it was like, I can't do anything. I can't do this. I can't do that. What am I going to do? What action is the right action to take? What action is the right way to go? How do I ameliorate the situation by taking the right action? Your divine masculine wants your divine feminine to guide him. So we all have divine masculine and divine feminine. The divine feminine is receptive. The divine masculine is active, both of which are creative energies. And we don't realize that because we associate creative energy with divine masculine action or with divine feminine. But both energies are creative in and of themselves because we are creative beings. So when the divine masculine is in this state of feeling locked down, it's this feeling that you can't create. When I've gone through phases in which I can't write, and it's not that I can't write, it's just, it wasn't ever the right time for me to sit down and write something. but I tried to force it, I would always convince myself I had writer's block. I would put my divine masculine in this lockdown place. The core of the meaning of the message, the deeper meaning, is that your divine masculine feels locked down. And there's a difference between resting and feeling stuck, feeling stagnant. There's a significant difference. So let's get more information. So we have the card 8 with the circle, again with repeating 8s. 4s and 8s for you guys. Now we've got 11. Deep, quiet meditation and stillness. We have the card 20 with healing energy. Oh my God. The card 16 with masculine energy. You see, your masculine side needs to be healed. It needs healing. It needs rest, actual rest. Not rest in the form of, what am I going to do? How am I going to move from here? It's understanding there are cycles and circles to life. There are different perspectives, different ways in which we are meant to go about things. And certain cycles that we're in right now, for you, pile 1 in particular, the deeper message is you're in a cycle right now of stillness and inquiry. It's inner inquiry. It's the hermit journey. You're being asked to allow for, perhaps with this circle, I'm actually getting allow for the circle of what was to fall away so that a new circle can be formed. It's like letting the past go and allowing for yourself to heal. And healing is both masculine and feminine, but your masculine energy really needs a rest. You may have been going with this moving forward. You may be pushing and pushing and pushing. You may be one of those people who also dreams about racing a lot, racing in snow, sand, or water. And those in particular, because those are energies of resistance. They slow you down in a race. And you have to learn how to handle the slowdown. So let's get some final messages so that you can move forward. You guys, 444, the archangels, strength, stability, honesty, guidance, firm foundation, determination, resilience, higher life purpose, divine masculine. Oh my God. Divine support. You know, I should know these things because I made these cards, but I made these cards a really long time ago. So there is hyper emphasis here about your divine masculine, realizing that determination doesn't mean that you keep pushing yourself to the breaking point. Let yourself rest. Give yourself forgiveness for all the times that you've really pushed yourself harder than you should, and move forward in the right way now. Understand that you have more than enough time to build what you want to build because you have this firm, stable, beautiful foundation within yourself. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take a break. And I know I sound like hypocritical with that. Trust me, I get that because in all honesty, I'm sitting here and I'm post-op, but I feel really good. I love this masculine energy with the blue and the yellow. And look what just came out. It says northwest, and we've got blue and yellow. Falling droplets from the sky creates emotional wisdom as ripples spread out from mental clarity to the truth from the soul. So this is what you've been needing. You've been needing mental clarity. And in order to get mental clarity, you have to allow for a healing to occur within the circle you surround yourself with, within the energy field surrounding you, like your auric field, but also within your divine masculine energy. There's a lot of healing around your divine masculine, in particular, your sun sign. I'm getting pulled to a lot of healing with your sun sign. You have divine wisdom within your being. It is in your heart. Trust the wisdom that you have and trust the knowledge that you have. Know that your heart is pure of intent. And when your heart is pure of intent, that's when you're ready to move forward. I just feel like you guys need some like really restful sleep. Has this been repeating often enough to feel almost like it's a bad dream? Or are you having dreams of running from something, but you never know what you're running from? because it could be that you're running from yourself. In those moments, running from the change and the transformation for you to step more fully into your divine destiny. Okay, so let's see what else we have. I love this. No one knows you better than you know yourself. This goes back to people using their abilities and their powers and their whatever for the wrong reason, and you feeling very caught up in this game of life. It says, allow your heart to open to the flow of peace. I feel like your dream side needs that more than the message side. It says, listen to the song of your heart. It will show you the truth. Do you see how many of these are focused on your heart center right now? This is about the opening yourself up to really loving your divine masculine energy as well, but really letting your heart space heal from whatever hurt you have gone through. Yes. How do you feel? Does it match what you see? Which one is true? Sometimes our emotions are what we're meant to focus on. So you could be having dreams that have to do with moving forward, with getting on a train, getting on a plane, getting in a car, with running a race, running a marathon. But instead of what you're seeing in the dream, what are you feeling? Do you feel scared? Do you feel bold? Do you feel brave? Do you feel ready? What are you feeling? What are you seeing and what are you feeling? Now move from the place where you understand both of those. So let's get one final message. We're just going to pull the back of the deck here. Oh, I love this. I love this for you. Look, we have 999 and it's a number that hasn't come out for you. So this is brand new energy, completion, surrender, success, rebirth, renewal. Oh, we do have a 9 here. So this is emphasizing the North Node in Scorpio. And Scorpio currently has the South Node moving through it. So there is this hyper emphasis on the past being ameliorated for your destined future. So we have dreams and wishes, independence, interdependence, personal power, inner journey, and naturalness. You're beginning to complete this cycle. You are completing this cycle, surrendering to the truth of who you are, allowing for a rebirth and a renewal of success to come in, surrounding your wishes and your hopes and your dreams and your goals, and moving forward in the right way. I am so unbelievably, unbearably happy for you, Pile 1, because this shows me that you guys are really doing the work. And it's okay to let yourself rest when you need to. It really is. You are safe to do that. All right, Pile 1, this is what I have for you. This was such a beautiful message. I want to say thank you so much to your guides, my guides, and spirit for facilitating the connection between our energies and allowing these messages to flow through so smoothly so we can all live our highest destined path in this lifetime. Thank you. Pile 1, thank you so much for being here. If this resonated, a really great equal energy exchange would be to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And commenting in the comment section below. Every interaction that I get with my channel really does help my channel. And that story I told you guys about somebody actually trying to knock me out of the algorithm, still actually happening. So you guys are actually helping me overcome a bully. So, I mean, I could really use the help, honestly. But all that being said, Pile 1, I love you guys so much. Thank you again for being here. And if you guys are interested in my second channel or donating to my channel, the links are in the description box. All right, guys, I love you all. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose this second card, well, with all the numbers, this is your message about what your dreams are telling you. So it says numbers. Numbers in a dream can be significant. Some initial possibilities to consider are house or apartment numbers, phone numbers, and meaningful dates. For example, birthdays or anniversaries. A dream about your own PIN number may suggest you're being too secretive or self-centered. If a 2-digit or more number fails to reveal meaning, try looking at the individual digits in turn. If you're still stumped, take a numerological approach. Numerology looks at the symbolic meaning of numbers, especially in terms of spiritual growth. In brief, number 1 suggests new beginnings, 2, relationships, 3, creativity, 4, stability, 5, change, 6, nurturing, 7, truth, 8, wealth, 9, awareness, 0, timelessness, and eternity. In general, odd numbers are perceived as possibly anxious or threatening, and even numbers as more reassuring and positive. Of course, small numbers can appear as things. If, for example, there are 2 horses in a dream, perhaps they represent a significant pairing in your life. Okay, so that's a lot to take in, and especially with the digits the way that they are. If you guys give me just a moment, let Willow out of the office because she's being sassafras. So, first of all, this side here is the message of the dream itself. This is the deeper meaning behind the message, and this is all about the messenger. So I'm working with the Gods and Titans in the Goddess and Sirens book cards here. This is a God and Titans book. So that to me speaks to this being a message surrounding the divine masculine energy within you in a very, very strong way. And in particular about how sometimes, okay, how do I phrase this? Spirit, can you help me out? Okay. Sometimes we dream of certain things duplicating, multiplying rapidly because we're afraid of something growing too fast and out of our control in our lives. So the reason why I mention this is because when I was prepping for your pile, I was seeing a visualization of a scene within, I think it's Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And in the book, they talk about how Harry and Hermione break into Gringotts and they go into the, is it one of the Malfoy vaults, I believe it is? And they are looking for Helga Hufflepuff's cup. But there is a spell on that cup. There are actually 2 spells on that cup. One of the spells is a burning spell. So you touch it and it burns your fingers. And another one is a multiplication. So as soon as you touch something, a dozen more pop out. And every time, every contact, physical contact duration of time, it just keeps expelling more and more and more in an effort to make you drop the one thing because there's duplicates being created. And then every time you touch a duplicate, it also duplicates. So you never are able to find the real thing again because it keeps duplicating itself and multiplying itself and growing and growing and growing until they start getting crushed within the vault. And they have, I'm pretty sure this is the same one where it was that and it was too hot to touch. And so it was like they were being burnt and crushed simultaneously. I could be wrong about that combination. Something inside of me is like, I don't know if those are combined. It seems a little bit harsh, but then again, so did umbrage. And, you know, if you don't, if you know when it comes to umbrage. But sometimes in our lives, we're going through situations where things start picking up pace, or it's kind of like falling dominoes. One domino falls, and then all of the other dominoes in the set fall down. And you don't always realize at the time that as they fall, they're creating a new pattern, a new picture. Because you can't fully see the picture when it is just upright dominoes. And you can get fearful. You can start feeling that fear of everything is falling apart so rapidly, or all these dominoes are falling so rapidly. And this can be a fear that is elicited during good things. Like, oh my gosh, this good thing happened. And then that good thing happened. And then that good thing led to this good thing happening, which led to that good thing happening. And the tumble down effect is kind of like the snowball effect too. And when you're dreaming of these things, it's asking you to kind of take a step back and let things fall so that the dust can settle. If a good thing is repeating itself over and over and over again, we can feel fear like, oh, when is it going to stop? Why is this happening? Is this happening? And especially if in the past you have dealt with really negative situations where something good will come and then something good will result from that, but it's not, it's the exterior perception of something good, but internally it is actually something that is challenging you, or it's someone doing something that has the perception of something kind or good, when really it's self-serving for that other person, and you don't see it at the time because you just think that it's something nice that someone is doing. And it catches you off guard. And because of that, when you have that tumble down of really positive things, you can almost get angry. You can get kind of standoffish, because why would this stuff start happening again when everything was however it was? So that is an energy that I'm getting from the dream. It just kind of shifts and fluxes and changes, but it does feel like a kind of tumble down effect where it almost feels like things duplicating over and over and over again. So that is where the numbers came in as far as the energy goes. So let's get a look at the dream messenger first. So yeah, we have the 9 of Pentacles. What was I talking about? Like all good things happening to get you to a point of your independence, your personal growth and power. And with the Falcon here, the weird thing is I'm picking up more Raven than Falcon, and I pick up a lot of Odin energy with that. Because Odin had Hugin and Munin as his 2 ravens who were like his eyes in the sky. Eyes in the sky. We have Hermes in communication. So this is a messenger from the gods coming to you in dream form to show you that you are worthy of a multiplicity of good things. You're worthy of a bountiful harvest season. You're worthy of these really good things. So we're going to flip over on this side and take a look at the message in the dream form. Okay, so we have Justice and the Hierophant. Whoa. Okay. Wow. That's some like really powerhouse spiritual energy there. So for the Justice and the Hierophant to come out, this is about a kind of rebalancing of the scales of some sort of traditional area of your life. It could be marriage, like a balancing of the scales within your marriage. But more than anything, the weird thing is I am not, it's not really weird, but I'm being brought to a situation in my life right now where it feels kind of like the scales of the medical field are being rebalanced in my life, where doctors are actually hearing me, listening to me, taking into consideration the totality of everything rather than dismissing me or anything like that. And it's not something I'm really accustomed to. And in a dream state, it's kind of like, it would be like you going to church as a very non-religious person, and that the deacon of the church or the pastor or the priest or the father or whatever, what have you, would kind of give to you in a way that you would not expect. That's just really strong coming through. It's like, another example that just came to mind would be like, if you were, the message is like, it's like those in power giving back. So like, say that you are applying for like disability or applying for benefits of any sort, and in the dream you get more benefits than what you applied for, but it's just kind of like a freebie giveaway. I hope that is translating, but these are kind of like rapid images and ways that it might be presenting. Yeah, 46, root girl, the disowned self. So the part of you that feels as though the outside world, society, quote unquote, the man who hasn't been justifiably hearing you or who has been unjustly judging you is no longer doing that. It's like the disowned part of who you are is suddenly being loved. So another example that's coming through is the dream message might have something to do in the form of people really coming to you for your advice, when in the past you've always been very wise and very knowledgeable, but people would come to you, get your advice, and then do the exact opposite. Now in this dream state, the message that you may have been receiving is that you are being given more weight. Your advice is being given more weight. Wow, yeah, 11 with the council. We have 11, 11, 46, which reduces down to a 10 and to a 1. And then with the 5, we have a change in the way in which your leadership position is being seen in the world. We have healing energy and omens. See, it's like this signs and symbols and synchronicities surrounding the fact that what you have, the counsel that you have, the wisdom that you have, the parts of you that you have ignored and haven't cherished, those parts that you've been working to heal are now being given a lot more credence, a lot more credit, people are listening to you. They are taking you into consideration. They see the wisdom that you bring forth and they really acknowledge that, admire that, and actually pander to what guidance and counsel you give versus ignoring you. There's this kind of independent communicative nature about you right now that is coming to life, that your dreams are kind of playing out the possible scenarios in which this might come about. And from the energy that I can feel here, this is a lot about the initial intake of it, or that initial, like, it's like that first domino to fall, so to speak. So let's get some astrological energies. Okay, we have Libra, which is also justice energy, Mars, and the second house. Yes, this is about a fairness and a balance to your ambitious self, in a sense of self-worth, self-value. The Hierophant is Taurus. This is amazing. The Hierophant is Taurus, which is the ruler of the second house. And then we have Justice, which is Libra. So we literally have the representation here of this energy. But with Mars here, Mars is like bringing forth that disowned part. It's bringing forth that part of you that felt as though it has been ignored and unloved and unjustly judged. I just keep getting, you have been so unjustly judged by some firm power, some firm entity, whether that is something within society or not. I do get a lot of psychic energy with this, where it's like your psychic gifts have been very much discounted or ignored, and it's shifting now. That's very powerful. Okay, so let's get the deeper meaning here. And I want to roll the astro dice first. So we have Virgo in the 5th house and Neptune. I am not surprised. Neptune has been all over the place. And with this being Pisces season and Neptune pretty much ruling the skies, Neptune is talking about how you are approaching your dreams and whether or not you're being too practical. This is about you being like, well, practically speaking, this has gone this way in the past. And because it's gone that way in the past, I'm only going to allow myself to dream to this extent. And Neptune in the 5th house is saying, no, we're going to take the practical and we're going to expand it. So that Neptune in the 5th house wants you to romanticize your life in a very creative, beautiful way, and wants you to utilize Virgo energy to put it into practical application. So it's like saying, what do you want to create? What do you want your life to look like? Now let's dream big. Once we dream big, now let's see what steps we need to take to put it into action. And then let's move from that state. So let's see some deeper energies. We have the Six of Pentacles. This is kind of like you're in the Six of Pentacles now. You are the one who decides where your energy goes, what you invest in, and what is worthy of your time, energy, and investment. Four of Cups, yes, because you've been this Four of Cups. You've been the disowned person. You know what this is like. You've been on the receiving end of nothingness for long enough. So the universe is saying, I have this for you, but I want you to think outside the box here. That's the big message, like the big primary message here is to get you out of the box, to realize that the universe is here to work with you, to rebalance the scales, to bring things back into fruition, but you have to believe in that. Yeah, deep, quiet meditation and stillness, another 11. And 6 and 4, again, makes 10. So you have 4, 6, 6, 4. Guys, we have some mirroring going on here. And that, again, is Virgo energy. Meditation and stillness. And then we have the Gatherer. Okay, so it's kind of like this energy of it's time to gather your thoughts, to gather your energy. Take the time because the universe has brought together your harvest. With the Gatherer and the Nine of Pentacles, I did mention that this is about you having an abundant harvest season. So you may be moving into, from Taurus season through Libra season, you may expect a vast amount of like incoming harvest. The things that you have been working on really hard that it seems like people are ignoring, discounting, that is being healed, and your dreams are playing out the healing so that you can work on that while you're in your sleep state. Yeah. Oh my God. 5, psychic development. What did I say? I said I was getting this strong psychic energy. And then we have ascension with 24 again. Okay. So we have this really strong energy here that is about you taking the next step, your leadership position. This is about you ascending in what you're here to do in the world. And I know that the deeper meaning with the 6 of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups can seem really negative, but this is about the universe saying, I know it's been hard. I know it feels like everything has been lost and everything has been given to everybody else. And in your dreams, you're experiencing the opposite of it. So in the waking world, why would I be experiencing this if my dreams are showing me this? Is this not just a cruel joke? It isn't. It's because when Hermes comes through in a kind of trickster energy. He likes to work in ways that really challenge you. So Hermes is coming in your dream state and saying, look at how it could be. Look at how things could be. But you have to stop disowning this part of you because it's part of your roots. It's part of what matters. It's the core, the essence, the energy of the truth of who you are. So it's time to let yourself really step into this development because your dreams are really leading you on that journey to developing your psychic gifts. Okay, so can we get some more information here? I just kind of want to open the energy up for messages now. Okay. Seriously. First, we've got elemental. There's magic in the mundane and spirit in the ordinary. And this one wanted to come out so much that it actually started to bend. And look how these actually kind of match this energy with the numbers. That's curious. I like that a lot, though. And we have this big stack, but I could feel that it needed to be taken. So it says the elements, fire, air, earth, water, and spirit are calling to your soul. Will you follow where they wish you to go? Okay, so this could be another way that Hermes is coming through to you in your dream state. In the seeming seemingly ordinary things, like Helga Hufflepuff's teacup. So a cup of tea might seem very ordinary, but it's a water receptacle. And so it symbolizes water element. The water element symbolizes our psychic awareness. It also symbolizes our emotional body. So this is about the realization that your emotional body and your psychic abilities are intricately intertwined. And when you can recognize that, then you can see, are my emotions trying to tell me something that my physical senses cannot perceive right now? What more am I being asked to learn? And then it says, when was the last time you danced in the kitchen and sang in the car? Let loose and have fun. So when you are stuck in this mode of feeling like you have to do everything in order for the scales to be balanced, in order for you to have the harvest to gather with you, if you feel like you're always having to sacrifice, then you never feel like you get a chance to just have fun, to just be, to just experience life. And so it's time for you to give yourself time, a break, something. So we have look at this, clairsentience, clear feeling. Clear feeling comes in many ways, on many levels, and is a pure communication between you, others, and the divine. Sometimes this will present as an ache in the heart, a fluttery excitement in your belly, or even a swift punch to the gut. The key is to trust your feelings, allowing them to lead you out of the wrong place and into your destiny. So clairsentience may be something that is becoming ever more prominent, and clairsentience is not the same as empathy. Clairsentience is when you can clearly feel, whether it's emotional or physical, what is going on around you. And you can use that to inform the decisions that you make. It's just like I said, your emotional body may be deeply, intricately intertwined with your psychic body. And because these two are so deeply intertwined, it's now coming forth so that you can really give yourself the credence and the credit of that part of you, healing that part of you, so you can develop it. Not just develop, but also ascend to a higher state of being. And I do keep yawning, guys. I apologize. I have been really run down since my surgery, and today I'm just more tired than normal. So the divine creator sees everything and forgives everything. Forgive yourself, for you are truly worthy. I feel like this needs to be over here, because especially with it being the divine creator sees everything and forgives everything, this energy right here could absolutely, it could absolutely be the divine creator coming through in your dream state to say, I've already rebalanced the scales, but you're keeping them out of balance because it's time for you to forgive yourself. You may think that this is my hand holding the cup out to you, but in truth, it's this part of you that is trying to get you to accept it. Once you accept that part of yourself, then both sides of everything become rebalanced. Then your divine masculine, divine feminine, it rebalances, you rebalance. And here, I never gave up on you, not really, I always hope, by Ginny Weasley. This is a part of you that is really trying to get you to realize that you've never actually given up on yourself. Even if it feels like at times you have given up on yourself, you really haven't. Why? Because you're still here. You're still listening to this reading. You're still moving forward in life. You're still doing everything that you're meant to do. Now, I know that Ginny says this to Harry, but in this moment, this energy, it's like Spirit is saying this to you, but there's a part of you that's also saying this to you. No one has ever given up on you. And you haven't given up on yourself. And yes, at times it might feel that way, but you haven't. You're still here. And then it says, time spirals in and spirals out. You're already on the curves. Keep going towards your dreams. Okay, I'm going to put this over here because what this feels like to me with this time spirals in and spirals out, it feels a lot like the energy of realizing that this path and this life that we live, it isn't linear. It ebbs and flows and fluxes and changes. It's fluid and it moves from one to the next. It's like a river, like a meandering river through the land and through woods and, you know, over waterfalls. And then it just keeps going. There's twists and turns on this journey. But again, going back to the dominoes, even though it may look like chaos, it's creating this beautiful picture of what it is. And it's doing it in the way that it knows how to unfold. And your dreams are coming forth to show you what could possibly be if you were to forgive yourself and incorporate this part of you that it still hasn't given up on you. In a big way, this could be your inner child coming forth and being like, I never gave up on you. People will listen to you if you allow them to hear. But you have to allow them to hear, and you don't do that when you're holding yourself back from the truth. And the truth is that you really are worthy. The universe really does love you. Spirit really does love you. You are witnessing miracles in your life, and you're worthy of them. So can we get the closing message? Actually, I was going to reshuffle, and then I just kept feeling the bottom of the deck. So closing message here. Release yourself from the burdens of others. You have carried them too long. It's time for rest. You guys may have been drawn to another pile. I don't want to mention which one, but if you were, there might be some messages for you there. I just kind of picked up a little bit of that energy, but not a lot. But this again is that difference between clairsentience and empathy. Empathy, it's really hard as an empath to not take on other people's burdens, to not transmute for other people. But when you're clairsentient, it's about what you feel. And what you feel is something that is being shown to you based off of your surroundings. And therefore, it's a lot easier to distinguish which one is yours and which one is theirs. So this might be your clairsentient abilities going, I'm ready to come forth and to come to fruition. And you don't need to fear the empath side of things because the clairsentience is ready to amplify and strengthen. And clairsentience, again, clear feeling is significantly different than empathy because empathy, you tend to carry the burdens of others. And even if you say you're tired of it, you still do it. I'm an empath. I know. But I also am clairsentient. So I know that there is that difference between them. And you can choose when to use it and when not to use it. And it is fair and just for you to do that. It's not like the Six of Pentacles where there's one guy giving to one person. It's fair. It's fair for you to understand what the right thing to do is for you, to gather those resources together and to trust that the universe will bring to you what you need. That is what your dreams are trying to tell you right now. And I know that that can be difficult, especially when you have this part of you that is knocking on the door that you may not in the past have been ready to open the door to. But now is the time to ask yourself if you are ready or not. And I can't answer that for you. Only you can. So pile 2, I want to say thank you so much for being here. This has been an amazing reading. I want to say thank you to your guides, my guides in spirit, for facilitating the connections between our energies so these messages can flow through so smoothly so we can all live our highest destined path in this lifetime. All right, pile 2, thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. If this resonated, a really great equal energy exchange and a great way to interact with me and let me know that you enjoyed this reading is to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and comment in the comment section below. Any and every interaction with my videos really does help my channel grow, and I really do appreciate it. So with all that being said, if you guys are interested in any messages based off of your rising sign, astrologically speaking, and working with the moon cycles, check out my second channel, Rising Sign Messages. And there are links to donate to my channel and to check out my books on Amazon. in the description box. All right, my guy. I was like, all right, my guys. I was going to say, all right, my loves. All right, my loves. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the third card, this one right here, this is your message about what your dreams are trying to tell you. So this card is all about paralysis. It says, dreams in which you can't move or speak can cause great anxiety. The simplest explanation is that you feel helpless and trapped in some aspect of your life. For some reason, you're unable to move forward, perhaps because you can't decide on the best course of action. If you're disabled in a dream, or a wheelchair or disabled person appears, this may reflect an aspect of yourself that's struggling to express itself or realize its potential. Perhaps you're lacking confidence or have ambitions or goals you feel are beyond you. A situation may not have worked out as you'd hoped. Alternatively, someone may have hurt you badly in a way you might not even have acknowledged to yourself. If your immobility results from being weighed down with heavy bags, this is a sign of taking on too many responsibilities. You might need to say no more often or ask others to help you. So the way that the cards work here is this middle row, these two cards here are representative of the messenger of the dream. And because we are working with the gods and titans as well as the goddesses and sirens books and card decks, this is a goddesses and sirens. So this to me tells me that this has something to do with your divine feminine energies. Let me just kind of get things neatened out here, guys. It's telling me that this has to do with your divine feminine receptivity energy. And that was actually something that I picked up right away with your pile and your energy. And it actually correlated to a situation that I am still currently dealing with. And it's come in many different forms. But I kind of think it comes from one source, like one particular person. And it just kind of, the energy just keeps, or the situation keeps recurring. So I'm trying to say this the best way that I can. For about 1.5 years, I've been dealing with a stalker. And this is a stalker who is very subtle with energies and the ways in which the stalking is done. And most of it is online and done in a way that is really quite manipulative and cruel. So this person has, in the past with one of my old YouTube channels, which no longer is in existence because of the actions taken by this other person, intentionally kind of targeted my YouTube channel because I decided that it was best for my mental, physical, and emotional health to no longer have a friendship and a connection to this person. And over time, they got angrier and angrier because I cut off lines of communication. I flagged their email so they couldn't email me. I blocked them on all social media. I even prevented them from being able to comment on my YouTube videos. Over time, what the person would do is intentionally aim to knock my channel out of the algorithm. Now, if any of you are wondering how a person can do that, they can do that by knowing how the algorithm works and then taking actionary steps that intentionally make it look as though that channel is not desired within the algorithm. So, for instance, subscribing to the channel and then unsubscribing to the channel repeatedly. And this happens multiple times over the course of a single day, or it will happen one day will be an increase in subscribership, and then the next day it will drop in the exact same amount, and it will do that every single day. And these drops are never in the area of videos or posts. It is intentionally someone searches for my channel, subscribes to my channel, goes back to my channel, unsubscribes to my channel, making sure that it is not from any specific post or video or short. And in doing so, it makes it look as though, to the algorithm, to the number system, it makes it look as though when someone comes and interacts with my channel itself, it's undesirable. And the algorithm does not like to promote those kind of channels. And so you'll see my subscriber count will vacillate minimally, but they still vacillate. Why? Because someone is angry with me and can't let it go. This is an energy that I feel within your pile of some kind of exterior. I just heard the word sabotage, and I don't use that word lightly, but it feels as though it's like something targeted, and it's playing out in dream form, where I'm being brought to a dream that I used to have on repeat, where I would wake up in my dream and have sleep paralysis, and then wake up from having sleep paralysis in my dream with sleep paralysis. So it was like sleep paralysis inception. So it was layered dreams of the same repeating theme, but it would occur in the physical world as well. And it made that situation more prominent, which made the dream more prominent and the message in the dream itself more prominent. Now that's what I get from this energy here, is a very similar situation where you guys are dealing with something that feels almost like an exterior sabotage. It feels like someone is like literally working against you in order to get you to kind of disappear. It's very narcissistic. It's very abusive. It is very toxic and frustrating. And I have to tell you guys, because I want to cry right now, I understand and I see you, and I validate that feeling of being stuck and paralyzed. And I don't know a good course of action, because I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to feel unsafe in the areas that you love, because I have that situation still occurring in my life. It has not stopped, and it has been over a year. So I do understand how hard, how painful it is. But I am here to tell you that it isn't unseen. If your dreams are being brought to you in this moment, in this area, and this is resonating with you, I want you to know that you're not alone, and that it is not unseen, which means it's not just happening and there's nothing you can do. I don't feel that way. So let's take a look at the dream messenger first. Yeah. Okay. We have the high priestess. This is literally like what someone perceives as being hidden is not allowed to be hidden. It is not allowed to be hidden. The divine creator, our divine creator, goddess, the great goddess that created us all, the primordial mother is a firm energy here, will not allow this. This is not going to stay in the dark. This will come out, and this person will be brought to justice. 100% will. Yeah, Persephone and cycles. Okay. All right. So we're going to get the message, because we're going to be working with the goddess and sirens. So we're going to get Persephone's message for you here. But I want to talk about Persephone's mother, who is Demeter or Ceres. And Persephone's mother literally let the world start to die. Like, that's why we have seasons, is because Persephone was brought to the underworld. Literally was like, no, I will scourge the earth kind of energy, and people will suffer until I get my justice. And there is an energy here that's telling you it's time to stop. It's time to stop feeling trapped. You're not a victim. You're not a victim, but you don't have to be in the victim mindset anymore. It's not necessary. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's being acknowledged 100%. But that which was hidden will now come to light. And I love that we have the High Priestess, who is backed by pomegranates, and pomegranates are associated with Persephone. This is a double bonus, emphasizing that this is Persephone coming forward to talk to you about this. So Persephone, it says, it is time for a change, and it will be positive. Respect your own natural cycles. Be mindful of seasonal changes and go with the flow, taking these into account in your diet and activity level. All right. So it says here, it says, some of the symbols you could be seeing in your dreams are pomegranates. Yeah, I love that. Pomegranates, crowns, a robed woman carrying a sheath of wheat, spring seeds, and flowers. Should you need help accepting the change and transition that comes with cycles, you might like this simple invocation. Get up, if you can, get a pomegranate on a plate, or I know at a lot of grocery stores, they just have cups of pomegranate seeds. I would suggest using pomegranate seeds themselves, but if you can't, you can also find pomegranate juice, which is commonly available as well. A white candle, a red candle, matches, and a knife. Light the white candle and say, Maiden Persephone. I'm going to move this over here so you guys can see it while I read it. If you want to screenshot it, you absolutely don't have to do this invocation, but I feel like some of you are natural witches and you might want to try this. It says, Maiden Persephone, goddess of spring, I mark where I am. I ask that you assist me to accept the natural cycles of change. Protect me as I walk this new path. Then you cut open the pomegranate. See how many seeds there are and how beautiful the fruit is. If you're using pomegranate juice, pour a glass of it and admire its rich color and smell. Say, bless this fruit of the underworld. Upon eating it, I agree to change for the better. Eat 6 seeds or take 6 sips of the juice. Then light the red candle. Persephone, queen of the underworld, I ask you for your blessing. I do not resist the flow and now am in constant synergy with the energies of nature and of my own self. Blow out the candles with thanks. I'm actually going to mark this. And I am going to, I'll actually do it right now, you guys, so that I don't forget. I'm going to mark this. I'm going to take a picture of it for you. Okay. I'll put it up on my community page for you guys, but I think I'm going to do this alongside you guys because I think we could all really use that. And I really feel such a strong resonance with what you're dealing with, as well as with what I'm dealing with. And this feels, when I was reading that, the energy that I felt from Persephone herself and coming forward is about really letting yourself trust that this is the right next step. And it's 2:22 on my clock right now. So I just wanted to note that for you guys because I did notice. So this side here, we are getting what the dream message is. So this could explain kind of some of the imagery you're seeing, what the messages during the dream state were, what it felt like beyond just the kind of sleep paralysis inception energy. And then this is the deeper meaning behind it. So we're going to roll the astro dice here first. All right, so we have Leo, the 9th house, and Neptune. You know, Neptune has been everywhere lately. With Leo in the 9th house, that actually would be a Sagittarius rising energy. Yeah, Sagittarius rising energy. But Neptune, the 9th house in Leo, this is asking you about how you perceive yourself. How do you love yourself? How do you believe in yourself? How expansive are you going to let your dreams become? With Leo energy, Leo has a lot of fear. And when fear takes hold for Leos, it can really control the way that Leo responds. So with Leo as your 9th house, this is asking you to think about how it is that your responses are in terms of the belief in yourself and whether you believe in yourself as expansively as Neptune allows you to believe in yourself. Now, again, this is, like I said, this is an energy that I really resonate with. So it's really one of those challenges of like, do you believe in yourself enough to believe that one person can't stop a good thing from occurring in your life, from good things occurring in your life? One situation, one perception. And guys, I don't discount the power that one person has. Like my ex-husband ran a train through my entire life. I don't discount the power that one person has in their actions to literally change the fabric of the foundation of your life, because it can happen. I've experienced that. So I won't ever negate that. But this is about the core of the belief that you have within yourself. Do you believe that that person has the power to take and strip you down to nothing but your fear, so that your dreams are built on fear and everything that you wish and you hope for is built in a place of fear? Or are you going to come from a place of power? Now, Persephone's story is quite powerful because everybody thinks that she was captured and brought to the underworld. But I'm sorry, like, is this the image of a woman who is not in control, in her element, in the natural cycles and flow of her life, and in a position of power? Because that is who she is. She is the queen of the underworld. It's kind of like pile 3. Did I call you guys pile 1 earlier? Weird. Pile 3. If you were to be thrown into the underworld, would you sit there and let your fear be like, oh my God, I'm in the underworld. What am I going to do? How do I manage this? How do I navigate this? Or would you walk in with all this swagger of a lion leading its pride and say, you know what? This may be the underworld, but I am the goddamn queen here. Thank you very much. Excuse my language, guys. But like, I'm the queen. I am the king. I am the ruler, the leader of the underworld. So you can put me into the underworld all you want, but I dominate that area. Why? Because I am royalty. And that is the nature of lions and Leo energy. Leo is royalty energy. So wherever in your chart Leo falls, that is where you most exude this royal, regal essence. In the 9th house, you exude it in who you are, in your belief, your philosophy of life, but also of yourself, your sense of self-love, of healing, of creating the life that you desire, and sharing that in such an expansive, beautiful way. So this energy here, this is some powerful energy within your dream state. Wow. Wow. For real, you guys. Look, we have the Chariot and the Devil. It's literally, this is the first time that with the Devil, I am getting like Hades energy. And literally you have the King and the Queen of the underworld and seriously saying, you rule everything. You're literally victorious over anything and everything that stands in your way in your dream state. You are literally like bomb. Like, I'm like, I'm hearing so many like slang words for being like a bomb ass bitch. And I love it. Again, forgive my language, but this is what's literally coming through. Like, I'm getting like major Lizzo vibes from you guys. It's great. We have 44, the sacrifice. Okay, so your dream message is literally like, I will sacrifice whatever I need to sacrifice in order for me to have my victorious success. Like, come at me, bro, and try me. 23, fortune's wheel, luck and right timing. And this is why, because you know, literally, like, I'll give this up. People looked at Persephone and believed that she was a sacrificial lamb, but that's not the case. She was the queen of the underworld. She literally ruled alongside Hades. Like, she ruled the underworld. Why? Because it was the right time for her to do so. People may have perceived it as a sacrifice, but it was a sacrifice to the upper world, or the middle world, the physical world, our earth. It was a sacrifice for humans, for Persephone to rule the underworld because they had winter. But she knew her cycles. So this is literally saying, when you see something that you want, sacrifice that fear. Be like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice fear, and I'm just going to step into success. Screw fear. I'm going to be the leader. I'm going to be successful. No one is going to chain me down. I'm not going to do this anymore. I will conquer this. Yes, we have 36 with grounding. And then 20 with healing energy. This is a collective energy. Like, our dreams are literally bringing deep healing for us right now. And this is such a strong, like, no, I'm going to do whatever it takes in this physical world, in my physical life, and I will succeed. I'm going to ground this luck, right timing, and victory into a successful future. And that is the message from your dreams. That's how your dreams are playing out. So if you're waking up from a dream and you have sleep paralysis, it's because there's a part of you that is afraid of whatever the perception of the sacrifice is. But guys, I am telling you that these dreams are meant to empower you. I just heard focus. So it's like focusing on a different aspect. Don't focus on the devil aspect. Focus on the chariot aspect, because you have that there for you and for the taking. So now is the time. So let's take a look at the deeper meaning here. So we have Taurus, Mars, and the 11th house. Okay. And again, we're coming back to wishes and dreams, hopes and goals, and how you turn them into wealth, as well as your groups and communities and friendships. Now with Taurus and Mars, now we're tapping into an energy of, you know, you having this ambitious perspective, goal, wish for your future that involves you living in a kind of luxurious lifestyle. And that's a really great thing. Because you have Mars there, you have that fire and the determination to make it happen. That's one big message coming through. Like, you have the fire and the determination to ground your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, your goals into a reality and create a community and a friendship group and a society of your own making, essentially. I don't know why I said society, but I guess it needed to come through. So yeah, we have 8 of Wands. It's like rapid change, rapid progression forward. It's as soon as you loose yourself from this devil energy, this devil mentality, that's when, yeah, because it brings you back into a sense of balance. Like, you are the one that is balancing everything. You're literally capable of having both the bird and the bush, but you have to realize that you're the one that is capable of carrying that. And it doesn't matter what other people say. They're not the ones doing this. So you have this ability to balance it all out and to really make that decision to move forward out into the world with this like beautiful level of ambition to just like paint the world with beauty, create the world that you desire. Your dreams are trying to free you from that mentality that somebody is going to sabotage you all the time, because it's not sabotage if you choose to rule that energy. Yeah, 52 is standstill. You're kind of like, watch me sit here and let fortune favor me. Let fortune favor the still instead of the bold. Why? Because stillness in this day and age is boldness. We talk a lot in the spiritual community about slowing down, respecting the time, taking our time, but really being still in this day and age, that takes guts, that takes bravery, that takes courage, that takes boldness. to stop moving, to stop fighting, and to be like, no, everything will come to me. I'm just going to hold my hands out until it falls in. Oh my God. 31 in the hand. The universe is your partner. Seriously, you guys, I did not know this card was there. This is amazing. Okay, let's keep going. Look, changes. I was like, look, I was trying to show it to my microphone. Changes. 1144 may be a time that you guys see frequently. If you aren't seeing it frequently, you may start to see it frequently. 12 in truth. Yeah. The bald eagle on the truth card, the bald eagle talks about loyalty. When you are loyal to your own natural cycles, when you're loyal to the universe, to the creation with the universe, when you hold your hand out and you trust that the universe is going to make the changes exteriorly while you sit still and just hold your hand out waiting, that message is what's trying to come through. The sleep paralysis is a means of the universe saying, you're not stuck. But if you're patient, it will come to you. If you are patient, it will be brought to you. All the healing, the clearing, the cleansing, the awareness, the answers that you're seeking, they're seeking you. And all you have to do is hold your hand out and just wait and watch as it comes forth. All right, so let's see what else we have here. We get some closing messages. Okay, we have anger fizzles quickly, but love only grows. Love that. No psychic. Oh my God, look, the high priestess. No psychic is more psychic than you are. Trust yourself. Okay, guys, with this energy right here, this energy right here is talking about the things that you know that is right for you. I was talking to my mom today about how my medical journey has really unfolded and how with conscious awareness, I'm actually able to see the patterns and the cycles and the ways that things are unfolding in my life in a completely different way, and how without this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing, certain things wouldn't happen. And it makes me feel as though I have always been more psychic than I realize in a big way. But I've always fought for myself and trusted myself and my body more than the doctors. This is another one of those cases. If you know someone is doing something behind your back, if you know it with your whole being, don't believe anybody else that says that you're wrong. Believe you. What you know to be true is your truth. When you trust yourself, then you can change that truth by saying, Spirit, please help me. I put my hands out to you, Spirit, and I am choosing to sit in stillness in your presence. What shall we create next? What shall we do next? Let's work together. Let's create this existence together. Let's make what is right for me, for you, and for the collective together. All right. Finally, we have 111 with a spiritual awakening, enlightenment, manifestation, mindset, new beginnings, life purpose, inner magic, uniqueness, leadership, creation. See, what can we create together? Inspiration and insight. And on the back, I'm not going to read what it is. If you guys, you can see it right here if you want to screenshot it, but it is 222. And we have been talking about the divine feminine energy. I'm going to put that on this side. And then it says, magic comes from within and is aided through collaboration with the physical world. And then there are always new beginnings awaiting if you choose them. And then the final message, I'll go ahead and move this here, is on the back. And it is the energy of fire. And it says, as the sun blazes in the east, awakening the inner flame, beginning anew a passion. The element of fire. So this is talking about the sun breaking the horizon. So essentially your rising sign, and we did talk about a Sagittarius rising. So you could be a fire rising sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. But this is talking a lot about how the sun breaks the horizon, and suddenly that, like, if you think about the summertime, that's when mist forms, because the heat of the sun's rays are starting to, what is the word? Oh my gosh, it's changing the morning dew. I can't even, my brain just was like, it creates condensation. Okay, anyway, evaporate. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's like, slow down. Just let me put it there. It starts to evaporate the morning dew, and then it turns into a mist. And when you walk through that, then you're kind of blending that water and fire together and moving forward from that state. And it's this beautiful cleansing energy. So what Spirit wants you to know is, yes, yeah, there's this situation with this person or people or entity or whatever, what have you. Yeah, it's there. Yes, it is sabotage. Yes, it feels that way. Yes, it is that way. But that doesn't mean that the universe isn't working for you in your favor. You have this magic within you that is waiting for you to open yourself up to it. But trust your natural cycles. Trust that those cycles are changing, and trust that the universe is doing what you need to. And you can be still and let these things come to you. Trust yourself first and foremost. You already know the truth of your own situation, your power, your ability. So this is more than anything what I'm feeling this is it's Persephone coming through to try to awaken within you this very strong, brave warrior energy of, I'm going to step into my regality. I'm going to step into my power, and I'm going to own my life moving forward. So, wow, pile 3. This is what I have for you. This was amazing. Totally different energy than any other pile so far. So I want to say, first of all, thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. This has been awesome. Thank you to your guides, my guides, and Spirit for facilitating the connection between our energies so that these messages could flow through. Excuse me, guys. So that we can all live our highest destined path in this lifetime. I have noticed that when I am done channeling lately, I have to have this like massive yawn at the very end of channeling, just to kind of like dispel and finish transmuting the energy. So it's pretty cool. But yes, thank you again so much, you guys. If this resonated, I'd really love an equal energy exchange. One of the easiest ways you guys can do an equal energy exchange is to interact with this video, like it, comment in the comment section below, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell if you guys feel so inclined. Another equal energy exchange is watching my ads. That really is a beautiful way to support my channel, because that's a big proponent of what I make right now, because I had to shut down my bookings. So yeah, it's been a journey. If you guys are interested in donating or checking out my other channel or anything like that, the links are in the description box, and I strongly encourage you guys to, because I love to interact with you guys on all my platforms. So with all that being said, I love you guys. Thank you again. And thank you for everybody who's been like putting forth into the polls. I really appreciate it. You guys are helping me formulate a vision for this channel for the future. So thank you. I love you guys all, and I will see you next time. Bye. It's hello, pile 4. If you chose this 4th card, this is the message about your dreams and what they mean, what their message is. It says, robots and aliens. Aliens and or UFOs in a dream may indicate your desire to escape reality. Perhaps your mind is visionary in character. Your imagination can take you beyond the limits of the ordinary. The downside of this abundant creativity is that you may have problems fitting in with worldly expectations. There may be some lack of connection between yourself and others. You may feel different in some way and struggle to conform to the requirements of a role. This kind of dream is urging you to celebrate your uniqueness. It may also suggest that there are aspects of yourself you have yet to discover. Dreams about robots may have a similar meaning, but expressed as a warning. You may be losing your individuality in your attempts to conform. Alternatively, you may need to be more logical and less emotional in your daily life. Or could the opposite be true? The dream's mood may make this clearer. Now, considering we are all here on a spiritual level, there is a lot of energy here of star seeds and especially Aquarius energy and Uranus. So you may actually, this is going to sound really weird, you could be a Scorpio rising. And I say that because Pluto is about to move into the sign of Aquarius. And as Pluto moves into the sign of Aquarius, Pluto carries with that scorpionic energy of transformation wherever Pluto transits. And it's kind of this energy of transformation or transformation. You don't really get the option. So you don't have to have a Scorpio rising for that to resonate, but that is an energy coming through. Now, you guys are definitely my soul family. Most of the time I find this with pile 4, but this whole channel is really designed and created in my own personal, unique way. And it's designed and created with the intention of helping other people realize that being unique is cool. That being a nerd and being weird and being kooky and crazy and funny and just who you are, marching to the beat of your own drum and playing the game your own way, no matter what the rules say, that is the coolest thing that you can do. It is the embodiment that I seek in my own life. So if you find yourself in dreams where you feel like you are struggling to conform or struggling to fit within some sort of guise, putting on masks or taking off masks, or I'm actually seeing like a masquerade ball or like Moulin Rouge where you're just play acting, you're playing a role and you know you're playing a role, but the role that you're playing is yourself. This is really a strong message with this energy here to let yourself be as free and weird and kooky as you are. Let yourself be as creatively adventurous as you want. Sometimes we have to pull ourselves away from what makes us just like everybody else in order to discover the parts that make us who we are. So for me, I'm being shown, you know, I spend a lot of time watching TV these days, you know, because I'm stuck in bed and I'm crocheting constantly, and I've been watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise, and these are my guilty pleasure shows, you know, like it's driving my husband absolutely bonkers. But the thing that I've noticed there is over the course of the years, more and more people who have come on the show have been more spiritually focused. And we miss that because they're the ones that are considered weird and kooky and crazy. But those are the most authentic people that are on the show. And I think that one of the reasons why I'm watching it is to see how they are able to help others be themselves, be their unique self. That's what we're all here to do. We're here to experience this life from a very unique perspective, because each one of us has our own very unique perspective. And that unique perspective determines how our reality plays out. So if we find that our perspective is shaped and based off of other people's belief systems, you know, conditioned from childhood, or because we feel like we have to fit within some sort of guise or some sort of standard or something of that nature, we can struggle to actually fully connect with ourselves. So even though you may be having dreams of astral travel, dreams of starseed travel, dreams of robots, aliens, post-apocalyptic, anything, dystopian stuff, steampunk stuff, anything in this realm that kind of marches to the beat of its own drum. It's actually more of a metaphor this time. I don't know why this time came out, but I mean, I'm channeling. We're going to let it go. Okay, so it's more of a metaphor this time than times in the past, where it's less about you actually astral traveling and more about right now how you're feeling internally. So it's a call for you to allow for this awareness to kind of gather within you and to be illuminated through retreating into your inner world. There's a kind of calling here that I feel, some hermit energy here. You may have been feeling lately like, I just want to withdraw from the world. I just want to take a break from interacting with other people. I just want to kind of engage in the experience of being human. And that would be one of the biggest reasons why you've been having these dreams, but also why you were led to this reading, because that is actually an energy I 100% understand, because I've been feeling that way myself. As much as like I love interacting with the people on my channel, my community, I love it. I got so burnt out on doing collaborations and constantly, interacting online. It really did, like, my social battery ran out so quickly. And I overtaxed myself doing it. And I got into that energy of just needing to pull back. Well, when I have these kind of dreams, it's less robots and aliens and more of like, naked in school, or you forgot to wear a top to church or something like that. Like you're the odd one out. And it's learning how to make that a more natural thing in your dreams. When you can start seeing those moments where you're the outlier, but you're acting like it's a natural, normal thing, that's when you know that you're learning how to really sink into your own personal styling, your own personal uniqueness, what makes you you, and not thinking about how it impacts this person or that person or anything of that sort, but rather, how do you feel in your own skin? So pile 4, you guys got the longest intro, which doesn't surprise me because, every time I interact with pile 4s, it's always my pile 4, always. I keep asking the guides to kind of switch up the energies and see what happens. And I still end up coming to pile 4 readings and doing these readings, and pile 4s are always on just another level, and I can't figure it out, but it's the reason why I maintain 4 piles for pretty much all my readings. Okay, so now that I've sung your praises, guys, here's how this reading is going to work. You guys always make me so giddy and happy too. Okay, this center row, these 2 cards right here are representative of the actual messenger of your dreams. Now, this card right here is from the Goddesses and Sirens deck, and I do have a double deck. I mixed them together. So I was pulling from both the gods and titans as well as the goddesses and sirens. And these are Stacey DeMarco's. I love her work. I love, 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 love her work. I love all of her stuff. I have so many of her decks. But we're going to get the message for you from this card. For whoever it is, that's who's been entering into your dreams. They may be coming in as another character, or they may be blending their energy with yours, or you may end up having certain feelings or having your dreams. I'm actually seeing someone having their dream kind of change all of a sudden. So say, for instance, you're in a school, and then all of a sudden you're in a church, and then all of a sudden you're at home. Then all of a sudden you're in a playground or at a playground or in like a pool. And you're shifting into different situations, different scenarios, but the core of it is you're still the outlier energy in these places in some way, shape, or form. I'm actually seeing somebody like suddenly going from being naked in front of their class to being fully dressed at the pool during the summer. So it's the exact opposite. This is the messenger that is kind of recreating the dreaming state, the dreaming images for you. Wow, this is like Sandman energy. This is interesting. Recreating those images to help you work through it. And this really is like a very loving energy that I'm feeling. So we're going to take a look at that. And then this here is going to talk about the message of the dream itself. So how it plays out, kind of what you experience during it. And then this side is going to be diving into the deeper meaning, and then we're going to get a few additional messages. So let's see the messenger. Look, we have the Strength card, Leo energy. This really is about blending all of you together and really stepping into your own uniqueness. I love that. The Strength card is one of my favorites, and it's not just because I'm a Leo, you guys. We have Vesta in home. The funny thing is she actually came out during the pre-shuffle as well. So she definitely wanted to be seen, wanted to be known. And I love Vesta energy. She's just, she's wonderful. So Vesta says, establish a solid home base. Protection is necessary or granted for your space. Keep the home fires burning. You may be moving soon. That makes a lot of sense actually with this because I'll get into it, but it says some of the symbols you may have been seeing is a fire, a hearth, sacrificial cake or food. I'm actually seeing like a smorgasbord, Vestal Virgin, a scepter, or possibly a hand mirror. I'm actually seeing a hand mirror. That might be a repeating theme. Looking into like water and seeing a reflection of someone else's face as well. That could be her looking back at you. But if you're about to move into a new phase in your life, if you're actually physically moving, or you're about to have what, you know, we would call a glow up or any of that nature, Vesta comes through to make sure that you understand that the home and the hearth is your unique fire burning internally. That is what Vesta represents within our natal chart. It represents that inner sacred flame that we all contain within ourselves. It is that spark point of home within ourselves, because we can feel like aliens walking this world. So she's here to help you really, really step into your own, really step into the fullness of being you, to know that you are safe, protected, and secure in being your fullest, truest self, rather than being afraid to shine your light out, to know that you have this kind of quiet, stoic strength within you. You have this energy, this way of being that is incredibly beautiful. And it encompasses so much of who you are and how you move through the world and how you move within any given situation. So when we say that you may be moving, when the card says you may be moving, it could just be the way that you move in the world. You know, we call it swagger or sway or whatever, what have you, but this is about how you interact with things outside of yourself. So let's see what the message from the dream is. Yeah, 8 of Swords and the 4 of Wands. It's this, I'm trapped in this spiral of wanting to celebrate and wanting to be unique and wanting to own my existence and own my leadership and own my power and own who I am, but I can't get myself there. Every time I try, I just end up being stuck on the outside. It's like I am trapped. I am stagnant. I am stuck. But I want to celebrate. So it's that constant fluxing and changing of you being in a different situation, but always being the outlier. And that makes a person feel so stuck. How do I fit in? How do I come and celebrate here if I'm always this person? How do I get out of this? And that's your reading in particular has a lot more of an emotional energy to it than I was getting with any other pile. Oh my gosh, 33 with magic. You guys could have been having like Salem witchcraft dreams, dreams of Camelot, like King Arthur and the Round Table I'm seeing. You could have been having dreams of the Fae, dreams about or at Stonehenge. You could have had dreams of angels. I like Celtic, old Celtic, like back during like the 1500s is what I'm seeing. They were showing me like a timeline. So those kind of imagery, if you pull up imagery from those as I'm saying this, or Google it or anything like that, and it resonates with you, and this is the situation, you want to be a part of the group, but you want to be your own individual self. You want to exude your magic, but you're afraid. You're stuck in this, I can't get out. I can't move. Yeah. You're stuck in the matrix. Yeah. Galactic mushroom and the divine matrix. And then we have 38 with growth and 21 with sacred space. Okay. So the other thing that I'm getting from this, from some of the messages of this, is letting yourself come back to self. It's realizing that you create the magic, that you create the situation of enjoyment, of leadership. You create the stuckness, but you also create the freedom. So because you're the one that creates all of this, the divine matrix is your creation. It's your magic being woven. And Vesta is trying to help you understand that you can feel safe within yourself, that you are your own sacred space, your heart, your soul, your mind, your creations, your inspiration, your imagination. It's safe for you to be at home within yourself. That is home. You are home within yourself when you choose to be here. The sacred space card here, it really feels like you. And with the flame down here, it's definitely Vesta showing you how to grow into your own person, how to grow into your magic, how to allow yourself to really expand. Random here, maybe a little bit random, but if you know, you know. If these dreams are more common after you guys, if you guys watch The Last of Us and you get these dreams more after that, based off of the mushrooms and the fungus and everything, it's simply because the theme of that show is helping your subconscious mind. So don't think that you're getting like nightmares or bad dreams from watching something. I'm actually hearing like it's like I'm a little kid again. There's a reason for that. So before we move on, we're going to roll the astro dice and see if there's any other information about the message from your dream. So we have Venus in Aquarius and the 3rd house. That would make you a Sagittarius rising. If this is in your chart, it does not have to be. You could have Venus in the 3rd house. Or Venus in an air sign, Venus in Aquarius, anything of that nature. Alternately, you could have Venus 3 houses away from Aquarius in either direction. That's very interesting. I'm not even going to try and compute that for you guys. Okay, fine, I will. Okay, so either Venus in Taurus, I like that, or Venus in Scorpio. Now, this is about freeing yourself and your way of communicating in terms of beauty, love, honor. It's giving yourself the freedom to speak your heart into existence. That is a big part of these dreams. That is a big part of the message of these dreams, is letting your true beauty be expressed. Letting your beauty be expressed very freely. Oh my gosh, I just remembered. I said I was getting Aquarius energy and Uranus energy with that. Yes. So let's get into the deeper meaning. Okay. You want me to roll the astro dice first this time? Okay. Oh, we have, again, the third house. And look, Pluto again. And I mentioned Pluto with Pisces. Okay. So in this way, we've got third house energy. Gemini energy. Gemini rules the third house. Mercury energy, because Mercury rules Gemini. This is about how you communicate. Both ways, this is 100% about your communication. And it's about how you speak in your life. And so here, your dreams are trying to get you into an energy of freeing yourself, loving yourself, seeing the beauty in what you have to offer and what you have to share in your voice. On this side, it's understanding the transformative power of being compassionate, empathetic, psychic, having your dreams, diving deep into your dreams, and really letting them be expressed in your everyday life, letting yourself show the world how words can change not just a person's opinions or beliefs, but an entire life. They can transform something in a very beautiful way. Wow, guys, this is powerful stuff. I'd say it's powerful stuff. The deeper meaning, the 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. The deeper meaning is the more that you work on freedom of expression, loving yourself and expressing that freely, speaking these truths into existence, sharing it with the world in whatever way, because the third house is all about communication and your immediate environment. So it's also about your home, your surroundings. It's making yourself home within yourself creates a sacred space wherever you go. And when you can communicate, knowing you're in a sacred space, you literally are communicating from an abundant place. And the abundance that you're building it's not just like a windfall here. Like, yeah, the 10 of Pentacles can be a windfall, but that's generational. It's generational wealth. And it's generational wealth that you're building. So you're building something in your life based off of communication. And your guides are telling you, keep going, keep doing this. It's transforming everything. We've got 37 with the moon, which reduces to a 10. So we've got 2 10s here. And with the moon, this talks about cycles and flow and understanding the nature of the moon and the tides and the way that the energy of the moon phase changing can actually change your life as well. Living more aligned with the lunar phases and the cosmic energies, I have found really does make a huge difference in my life. And we did just I'm actually filming this on the day of the Pisces new moon. So that's really, really powerful for you guys here. Let's see what else. Yes, 34, lay of the land with ancestral wisdom. We have the card number 4, past, present, and future. And then 18, it's all good. Okay. So I love that the deeper meaning in this dream is not nearly as deep as the dream itself, because the deeper meaning of this dream is literally like you just have this wisdom awakening within you. You're learning how to ebb and flow and transform with your natural cycles, with your life, but you're learning how to be at home within yourself first and foremost. And that's something that our ancestors really did know how to do. So your perhaps going to be moving somewhere, and this could be in the physical form, it could be metaphorical, but moving somewhere that has to do with your connection to this world. And that would be why you're having all of these different dreams that make you feel like you're the outsider, because it's time for you to come back home to self and feel more at home in this world. So let's get some final messages here. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Yes. Whether by tower or tornado, the clearing has begun. You choose which one through initiation. So this is saying that you have the power here with these changes happening and this move coming. Whatever the move is, you know what it is. I'm hearing you already know. So you're the one that gets to choose how it happens. Is it going to be a tower moment, or are you going to choose to stand in the middle of the tornado and let it just swirl around you, rip up the topsoil, and give you a clean slate? For me, when the tower falls, but it's not always all the way down to the foundation. It brings us back down to the strongest point that we have built ourselves from. So, but a tornado rips up from the root and rips everything up, so that everything is basically, you have a tabula rasa or a blank slate. You are in that state so that you can try again, start over again. And it's up to you. You get to initiate it. And that's what the dream is letting you know. Every single time you get moved into a new place, you are the one that takes the first action in the dream. It's up to you to continue doing that. But now take it out of the dreaming world and into your physical life. Fear is a choice. Happiness is a choice. We can always choose the one which feels the best. So this is about really choosing, you know, which way you want to, basically what you want to experience. Do you want to live in fear, which I don't think any of us really want to live in fear, but some of us choose fear on a regular basis because we don't know that we don't have to experience it. And fear is a great, great teacher in this existence and in this life. It really does teach us so much. Okay. Stop qualifying and apologizing. Your words and wisdom matter, and they truly carry weight in the entire cosmos. So if you're finding yourself constantly saying, well, I did because of this, I did this because of this, or I make qualifying statements all the time, and then I apologize for my qualifying statements. And you guys have experienced that. If you have watched my channel for a while, you know I do that. And then I actually chastise myself for qualifying. These are things that we do because somewhere, someone in our past has told us that what we know, what we believe, who we are, our gifts, what have you, don't matter. That they're not true. They aren't accurate, and we start challenging ourselves because someone somewhere has challenged us. These dreams, and especially Vesta's coming forth to help you move through this energy, to help you move through those traumas in a much easier way, because they're helping you see that you matter. You have this beautiful, innate, natural magic about you. And it really does matter in this world. So we have, yes. Meandering does not equate to being lost. It brings about experience. Trust your journey. This is why those shifting visions and views, those shifting experiences, because it doesn't mean that you're lost. It means that your experiences and your journey is shifting and changing how it needs to. Everything that we go through in this life leads to something different. We don't always see it at the time, but it does. A huge example is today. For me today, while I am truly, truly blessed that the tumor on my ovary was benign, that during the examination of the doctor in my pre-op, she suspects that I have a very, very rare genetic condition. And I have been through testing and procedures and multiple diagnoses. And then I've had diagnoses given and then taken away. And diagnoses of idiopathic, as in we don't know why, for multiple things in my life. It has been 13 years of this journey. If I did not have a benign tumor on my ovary, I wouldn't have any idea what is going on. But in my pre-op, she suggested something, and I've been doing research from what her suspicion is about what is going on. And everything that I have been through to date, actually fits within this. It's not an ideal situation, but had I not had that tumor, had I not gotten a second opinion, had like all of these things, had they not happened, I wouldn't have any kind of medical answers. And having answers matters so much more than not. Sometimes we have to go through the journey. Sometimes we have to go through the darkness. Sometimes we have to wander in and out of places and things and experiences that make no sense so that we can experience the truth, so that we can have the physical experience, so our souls can grow, so we can grow, but so we can find the answers that we're seeking, the wisdom that we need, and so we can build what we're meant to build. Duplicity begets trust when you listen to your intuition. This is talking about learning that this journey and this life and this experience is not about the pain. It's not about the betrayal. It's not about the duplicity. What it is it's about trust and love and honoring and growth and unconditional love. That's what it's about. When you listen to your intuition, duplicity, it teaches you how to trust yourself. First, foremost, and always. So we have one more card that just fell off the top of the deck, and it says, sometimes lessons look endless, but you hold the key to the door of learned into full integration. And I love that because that's how I feel now about my medical journey. So if you're having these dreams on a regular basis, what is the lesson? We can go around and around and around, just like the moon. It goes through all the same cycles. Every single month, the moon hits the exact same cycles. They're in different signs, having different interactions with the planets, but it's the same moon cycles, like clockwork. So yes, it can feel like an endless loop of the same. But what are they teaching us? They're teaching us how to flow with our own natural cycles. They're teaching us to recognize energy, to recognize emotions, to recognize the essence of our soul. When you realize what the lesson is teaching you, you get to step into integration. When you step into full integration, now you're embodying the truth. When you embody the truth, then you know your own magic. You don't qualify, you don't apologize, and you start trusting every single moment. For you in particular, pile 4. This is about overcoming fear to step into happiness, unconditional love, trust between you and the universe, but more than anything, between you and you. All right, so pile 4, you guys got the longest reading. Not surprised, but I am honored to have brought you this message. I am truly honored. This has been just the most astounding message. So thank you so much. I want to say thank you to your guides, my guides, and spirit for facilitating the connections between our energies and helping these messages to flow through so smoothly, so beautifully, and to help us live our highest destined path in this lifetime. Thank you. Pile 4s, if this resonated, a really great way to let me know, to do an equal energy exchange, is to interact with this video. Like the video, comment in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified with all my upcoming readings. And yeah, check out the description box for my other channel, Rising Sign Messages. You can check it out for donations. I'm still closed to personal readings because this one reading itself took a lot out of me. It took me quite a while to film it. So, but all that being said, I want to say thank you again so much for being here. And I'm just truly honored to have you guys. All right, Pile 4. I love you all, and I will see you at my next reading. Bye.